Hey guys, welcome back to another Harry Potter Wizards Unite video. As I just got this new Hufflepuff portrait over here that we've easily returned with only one spell cast there. They have been, you know, appearing on the map ever since the Day of the Dragons ended, so you know you can find these around. Anyways, today's topic is going to be, I guess, sort of myth busting this whole trick that people have been, I've been seeing people spread this all around the internet about this aura trick to do more damage and stuff, which we really have to kind of deal with. And actually, I literally just noticed I have 25 red spellbooks over here, which I could actually pour into this one, Lethal. This is, these two are the last two nodes I need to do before I finish my Magologist skill tree. Well, all the relevant ones like stamina, Protego, accuracy, defense, breach are totally irrelevant stats. But anyways, back to the topic. So auras have an incredibly powerful duo combo thing that they could do, which is First Strike plus Dancing with the Dummies. So Dancing with the Dummies increases precision versus foes with 100% stamina by 35%. So that means at max, you can have 70% chance of crit rates against anything that's not a Death Eater. Because, well, for auras, if you're facing Death Eaters, you get an extra 25% precision, so that's absolutely incredibly powerful. This is also why I personally think aura is the strongest profession in the game at the moment. Yeah, Dancing with the Dummies, you get basically 70% crit rate on your first hit against an enemy, and then you also have, you pair it up with First Strike, which increases your crit power by 50% against an enemy with 100% stamina. So when you combine these two together, you have a, what, 70% chance of dealing, how much damage was it? 170% crit onto the enemy. So that's huge damage on turn one. Like anyone who's ever used auras against like a Death Eater or a Dark Wizard, like that first crit just obliterates them, especially like if you add all the stuff, especially if you're facing an elite Death Eater or Dark Wizard. Mainly Death Eaters because you have that extra boost there. But like that first hit with a Whip Sharpening Potion, a Potent Extimulo Potion, a Brave Charm, Proficiency Charm, Deterioration Hex, that first blow just obliterates an elite Death Eater as an aura, and it feels so good. So, that being said, there's been this thing going around the internet telling auras to go, you know, butt into other folks' business as well, since they have such a strong combo on turn one. People have been advising auras to go ahead and fight Acromantulas and Urklings and Pixies and Werewolves as well with this in groups. So here's the thing that they're talking about. Folks have been telling auras to do. So basically the game plan for folks who do, you know, subscribe to this strategy is that have the aura go in there to deal the first hit so they could get that crit in, and then they could exit out, and then the Magologist / Professor could go in and just go ham, right? And here's the problem. Let's do some simple math and we'll show why that is probably not a great idea. So let's go ahead and pull out a calculator first. So let's see how much damage auras deal against non-proficient enemies. So werewolves, acromantulas, urklings, and pixies first. So auras obviously have a ton of damage, and we're gonna assume that the first hit is going to crit. If it doesn't crit, then, you know, obviously either way it's gonna be a waste. But let's assume the first one crits, and also assume that obviously the enemy has Confusion Hex, and we're gonna assume, you know, if it's an elite, then you have Brave Charm on, or you have, you know, what else? A Deterioration Hex on the opponent, because, and we're not going to calculate those because either way, all the professions have it anyway, so it really doesn't matter too much. So anyways, let's go ahead and calculate the damage on how much damage an aura does against a non-proficient enemy. So auras, obviously, they start out with 100 base damage. There's also a skill that gives 10 more, I think 10 more or 15 more damage when the opponent is like under 50% HP, but you know, that's obviously not relevant because you're only going in for the first hit, right? So we're not going to be proficient against them, obviously. So, and we're assuming they have no defense because confusion attacks just totally takes out defense. The absolute strongest skill in the game, in my opinion. So what's going to happen is you're going to get that first strike plus Dancing with the Dummies crit. So that's going to be 170% on your opponent. So that ups to what, 2.7% multiplier. So your base damage is 100 times 2.7. That nets you 270 damage, which is a lot of damage on turn 1, right? So that's assuming obviously you have max damage, you max out your precision, you max out your crit power, and you also have Dancing with Dummies and first strike, obviously. So that's a lot of damage on your first attack. But let's go ahead and check out the other professions and see how much damage they actually do as well. So let's first go to Magologist. So Magologist actually has two different scenarios. Urklings and Spiders are totally different because against Urklings, Magologist has a separate skill to deal with it, and then with Spiders, they really don't. So let's check out Magologist's damage. So first of all, let's figure out Magologist's base damage, right? So with at max damage, so that's 59 for Magologist. You also have Become the Beast, which is an extra 40 damage, and then you get that 10 damage from your orientation skill. The first skill that you get when you're above 50% HP, you get like 10 more damage. So that as well. I always forget the name of that skill. I can never remember that skill. I just can't remember that skill's name. I just keep on forgetting. Sorry about that. So anyway, so that's 109 base damage. And let's also calculate the proficiency against the opponent as well. So you got 148%. Plus the 44% from a proficiency charm. That's 192%. And you also have to minus the deficiency defense from the Acromantulas, which is 25%, so you get 167%, so that's a 2.67 multiplier, slightly lower multiplier than your Aura's crit multiplier, right? So 2.67 times how much was it? 109, right? 109, and that's about 291 damage. So already that first hit for Magologist versus Spiders already does more than Aura's first strike plus Dancing with the Dummies, right? At max damage with a crit. So in this scenario, it seems like maybe you probably don't want the Aura to go in and do that, because first of all, the Aura has to go in and then get out. That's you know, there's the in and out damage, there's the, you know, lag and stuff. It takes up a lot of time. So it's probably not a good time investment, also not a good energy investment, and also, you know, sometimes if you're like me, you're kind of clumsy with your fingers and stuff. You might not get out in time, and Auras will take a hit. And if there's one thing Magologists and Auras have in common is they do not like, both Magologists and Auras do not like Auras taking hits. So, you know, if you don't get out in time, you might take a hit, which kind of hurts as well. So, it really does seem like it's probably not worth doing that. Just let the Magologist do its job. So, again, let's do that also, but for Urklings. So, what was it, 2.67 I think the multiplier was? Something around that. So, for Urklings, it's a bit different because you have a separate skill for that. So, let's go ahead, calculate base damage, 59, plus 10, plus 40 from Become the Beast, plus an extra 25 from Vile Creatures, that's 134 times 2.67, here you go, 357.78, so 350, let's say 358 damage. That's a lot, like minus 270, that's like 87, 88 damage more. So in this scenario, again, obviously, do not go in and first strike, don't first strike. Don't do it, just let the Magologist handle its business. So, moving on, let's talk about Professors, because, you know, obviously with different damage calculators. So let's assume Professors are like totally maxed out. They have all three of their buffs. So they have their max damage buffs, right? So base damage, 79 plus 5, that's for the one buff, plus 5, that's for the other one buff, and then there's a plus 12 for the two buffs, and then there's another plus 12 for the three buffs. So that's 113 base damage. Let's calculate its proficiency. So it's 150 for highest, nope, I do not want that. 150 plus 44 minus the 25% from the deficiency defense. So that's a 2.69 multiplier, 2.69 times whatever the first number was. I totally forgot. Let's do that again real fast. 2.69. Okay, I have to remember that. 79 plus 5 plus 5 plus 12 plus 12. Okay, times 2.69 here. You got around 304 damage. So that is still what? 207. That's still a what? Is that really? What? 303 minus 2 wait. 3 or 304. Oh, 304 I guess, minus 207. Yeah. That's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage from what auras can do with the first strike thing. So for professors, which by the way, professors, you face pixies and werewolves, basically the same thing. Obviously in group battle, so in this scenario, also probably not a good idea to do this first strike Dancing with Dummies trick that folks have been telling you about. So when would you ever use this? I wouldn't say never use it, because there would be some scenarios where I guess you could use it, and that scenario would be, you know, when your teammates are all fighting their thing. They're all doing their thing already. So the Magologist is already fighting some kind of beast, and then your professors, they're already fighting curiosities, and then you're just sitting there and there's no dark forces to fight, and there's just a bunch of beasts and curiosities popping around. So I guess you could go in, you know, first strike and then get out of there, and then get to the next one, first strike again, get out of there, because like that's probably the only scenario where you would do that. Or otherwise, it's just better for your buddies, your teammates to actually handle what they're proficient against. And also one other thing that you cannot discount, because again, auras do so much damage. Like you guys got like Death Eaters and dark wizards waiting for you guys to deal with. Those things are super hard to deal with the other profession. So instead of, you know, using your time on here doing, like, I was just about to say marginal damage, but you know, you don't even do as much damage as the others in terms of the proficiency. So instead of wasting your time doing that, it's just better just to focus on your own stuff. You know, take down Death Eaters, take down your dark wizards, because Magologists and professors, they're not going to do jack squat to any of those, dark wizards or Death Eaters. You know, you got to take care of them. Death Eaters, like fierce Death Eaters, fierce elite Death Eaters. If I'm not playing with an aura, like it's gonna take me forever to take down as a Magologist. So you guys better take care of those. So yeah, instead of jumping around trying to fight these curiosities and pieces, you know, just use your time and spell energy. Fighting these dark forces instead. So anyways, that's gonna be it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Just a little breakdown of why you guys probably shouldn't go with the strategy. I've just seen so many people talking about it, spreading about it online, and you know, I wouldn't fault anyone. Like when I first saw First Strike and Dancing with the Dummies, this was like immediately came to my mind. Oh, what if we could do that? Like. And then I did the damage calculations, and oh, it's not really worth it. But again, that's me for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you guys think about in the comments down below. If you guys are not convinced and you guys still want to do that, that's totally fine. You know, you can do whatever you want. Hey, there's also one more factor where I guess you could do this just to show off. Just, you know, the crits feel good. So if you want to see that, just to make yourself feel good, go ahead. So again, that's it for this. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Subscribe if you guys are new to the channel for more Harry Potter was Unite content, and I will see you guys in the next one.